Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and this is going to be the halfway point of the 52 game challenge. So I've just today finished the 26th game. I'm going to try and do this kind of off the cuff, see what I can remember of the first 26 games that I've done of the year. I'm quite happy getting through 26 already. I know Mark, Jolly Slasher, he's done his 52 already, so he's going on to do his second run. His new game plus, that's what he's going to do. I was just talking to Paul like the other one as well, he's done 33, I think Ross, he's on 25 maybe, 25, 26 as well. And Eddie I think's on 25, there's a whole bunch of people doing this, but yeah, I've reached the halfway mark, so I thought I'll just document it and go through the first 26 games. So, the first game I did at the beginning of the year was Down the Rabbit Hole. It's a PSVR game, really good. I really enjoyed this. It's pretty short, but it's just a really nice kind of Moss kind of game. It's got like a really cool perspective where you're looking at it. There's like a diorama of the levels and everything, and you're controlling the young girl and she's away to find her lost pet Patches. It's really good. Really, you can see all the kind of influences from Alice in Wonderland. You got the Queen of Hearts and things like that, and the cards, the Cheshire Cat. They're all in here. It's a really good game. Really recommend this. It's like I said, it's not too long. It's quite a short game, but it's really cool. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. No manual or anything like that, but I just wanted to point out this game as well. Ghost Giant. That's one I want to kind of try and grab a hold of as well and get played, because it's meant to be pretty cool. I would like to collect a VR kind of subset, but I think there's a lot of dross, a lot of shite on the VR. There's a lot of good games as well, but there's a lot of shovelware, so I don't think I'll get them a physical set of them. And because I'm pretty lazy, I'd rather have them kind of digital anyway, so I can just, when I've got the headset on, I can just jump in and out of games rather than get up and moving around and just kind of lazy. So first game, Down the Rabbit Hole, really cool. Second game was Painkiller. I played this on the PC, really enjoyed this. It's just a no-nonsense first-person shooter. All hell breaks loose. You go into hell, sorry, you're looking for your missus. She dies at the start in a car accident, and you're going through all these different places and loads of demons to fight to try and get your wife back. But it's really cool. A nice big box set, this one. And I recently got, a couple of months ago I think, was it the Hell and Damnation, I think it was, on the PC as well. It's a really cool big box set. Really did enjoy this. It's nothing too taxing, it's just running around blasting things like the good old days. So Painkiller was really cool as well. Next one was a gift from Feed Me Chicken. So he sent me this just out of the blue. He said that I was into my Assassin's Creed games. I think he saw that I played Black Flag a couple of years ago, and I played Valhalla last year, and this one I really wanted to play, and it's Assassin's Creed Origins. I really wanted to play this because I just thought the kind of Egyptian setting. I don't know too much about the Egyptian mythology and gods and things like that, so this was really cool to play. And I really just wanted to slide down a pyramid. That just looked awesome in the trailers for it. But really cool game. Bayek, the main guy in it, he's like the Egyptian, an Egyptian warrior, and he's just really cool. And when I was playing through it, there was a Final Fantasy 15 kind of level, which I thought was really smart. You get is it the engine blade, I think it's called, from Final Fantasy 15, and then a big shield and everything like that, and you get a chocobo mount as well. So that was really cool, that was in there, and I stumbled across the mission. Like, I didn't look for it, I didn't look on the internet for it, I just saw something on the map, and I went to it, and yeah, you went to like this tomb, and something happens. Then Arden, the main guy from Final Fantasy 15, he kind of emerges from like this rift, and you get the engine blade. It was really cool. It was really unexpected, and I enjoyed that. And this is a really cool game. Really enjoyed it. So cheers, Feed Me Chicken. Next one I got was, this was a game that I bought at CEX, and it was quite an expensive game. I think it was like 50 odd quid. It's Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox. The reason I bought this was because I don't really buy big games for full price, and 60 quid is quite a lot of money for an old game, but this was an exception. It's so cool. I still think the camera angles and everything, and the controls are still a bit dodgy, but I mean the presentation and the music and everything about it makes up for it, and it's just a stunning looking game. This game has been promised to Paul Inc. Northerner, so if he doesn't get it by the end of the year, then I'm going to sort him out a trade. I'm going to hand this over for a game that I'm looking at in his collection. I think that maybe he wants to kind of cull some of his collection. So at the end of the year, if he doesn't have this by then hopefully I can get a trade. And full disclosure to him as well, it's a bit temperamental. It does work, but sometimes it just stalls in the loading screen. But it does work. I played it all the way through to completion, so yeah, really enjoyed it. Next one was Fear, First Encounter Assault Recon on the 360. Really good first person shooter. Reminds me a lot of what first person shooters of that time. Like very story driven, which is cool. That's what I really enjoy. But a little bit dated maybe, but still really cool. And I know that I think it was this one or the second one was going for a wee bit of money not long ago. I think it was just because it went backwards compatible with the Xbox Series X or something silly like that. I can't really remember, but I remember seeing it on like news feeds and things, so I thought I'll give it a go, and I really did enjoy it. It's pretty creepy, and the story is really good as well. Like towards the end it all kind of unravels and everything. So yeah, Fear was really cool as well. PlayStation exclusive next. I really enjoyed the previous games done by this lot. So you had Ico, and then you had Shadow of the Colossus, and then you had The Last Guardian. The Shadow of the Colossus is still my favourite. I think this might come in as a close second, because Ico is brilliant as well, but Shadow of the Colossus is fantastic. But this one is really cool, and the graphics are just stunning, absolutely stunning. The controls are a little bit iffy as well sometimes, but just the adventure you go on with the wee boy and Trico is just a great big cuddly monster. He's just amazing. I think Pete Fighter as well, I think he got like a little, I think it was his sister he said, made him a little Trico kind of knitwear kind of plush kind of thing. That's pretty cool. But yeah, this is really good. Towards the end as well, you just find out about the whole kind of mythology of it and how it came to be, and how Trico came to be at the bottom of the kind of ravine, all bashed up and everything. And the ending is quite heartbreaking as well. The end kind of battle kind of thing. But really enjoyed that one. Next one, we've got Bayonetta 2. This is just mad, absolutely madness, but it was really good. I played the first one last year, and this one, it's more of the same, but a lot better, a lot bigger, a lot more out there. It's really cool. I'm trying to think, because this is in German. I'm trying to think where it was you go. I'm sure it had like, did it have like Nordic references? I think like, oh, I'm trying to remember. That's the problem with rehearsing, I can't really remember. But I can remember there was a lot of kind of Muspelheim, I think. I think you can go to Muspelheim, and that's where a lot of your challenges are. To be honest, I just went through the story. I just kind of missed all the kind of side parts and everything. But there is a deep game here if you want to really get into it, and it was really cool. But I just wanted to get through the story and get it done to get ready for Bayonetta 3, which was announced for the Switch I think last year or the beginning of the year. So Bayonetta 2, really cool. Next one is one that's been highly recommended. by a lot of people, especially Geordie Slasher. He said it was such a good game, and that is Second Sight. So made by the same guys, Free Radical, who made Time Splitters. It's not what I expected it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot more humorous, coming from the Time Splitters guys. But it's a very, very serious game, and it's good. I'm not saying it's still a brilliant game. Really, really enjoyed it. But it's a really serious game. But the graphics and everything kind of lean towards like Time Splitters, so that's why I thought it was going to be a bit more comedic, I guess. But it's not. It's really serious, really cool. And again, towards the end, everything kind of wraps up, and yeah, really, really cool. And a really good storyline as well. But yeah, highly recommend that. Next one, so Paul Ink Northerner, he did this one as well this year, and I just thought it was absolutely balmy and class. Absolutely loved it. It's Shadows of the Damned on the 360. Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, what other game can you get a big massive cop gun? It's just mad. It's off the wall. It's completely insane. It's got a lot of dark humour, twisted humour in it, but it's also got a really dark and tragic storyline. You go into hell again, you're looking for your missus, your girlfriend or your wife, your partner anyway. And the big main bad guy, he takes her into hell, and it's just like the sheer torment that she goes through it's insane. It's really, really dark. And there's a point, I think there was a point in it when she just wanted it to end, she wanted to die, and oh, it's kind of deep, but it's covered up in a dark humour, and it's just funny as hell as well. It's just a class game, loved it. And my favourite, a really stupid thing was, my favourite kind of part was, there was these slugs that had like little lights on their head, and you had to shoot them so they moved to light the way kind of thing, but the little tune that it plays, I absolutely loved that. That was my favourite thing about the game. I don't know why, but I just absolutely loved the wee tune that the slug played as it lit the way through the kind of darker areas. But brilliant game, absolutely brilliant, loved it to pieces. Next one we've got is Wario Land, the Shake Dimension. Really good game again. It utilises the Wii remote. You've got to shake things open and bash things and things like that. Quite simplistic as well. There is some replayability in it, but again, I just went through the story. I know there's loads of things you can still unlock and things, and a load of little trinkets to get and everything. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. The art style is fantastic. It's all kind of hand drawn. The start of it, the kind of intro, just reminds me of like the old 90s kind of Saturday morning cartoons. It was just brilliant. I really enjoyed this one. Next one we've got is Front Mission Evolved. Again, this is not... So I played Front Mission 3 years and years ago, many moons ago. I played Front Mission 3 and we loved it. Me and my little brother loved it. It was a tactical RPG, and this is so far from that. This is like a third person mech fighting game. You do get to go foot on the ground and go into buildings and things like that for certain missions, but the majority of the game you are in the big mechs, the Wanzers, sorry, as they're called. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I think it got quite low ratings, but again, I don't think it justified the low ratings. I think it's good for what it is. I think maybe the reviewers were kind of basing it on the past Front Mission games, which it isn't, and I don't think it tries to be either. I think it tried to do its own thing going into the 7th gen, and they tried to blow it up a wee bit and go a bit more action packed and third person shooting kind of thing. But I did enjoy it. It was really cool. There's a lot of customizable parts you can put onto your Wanzer. You can change the look of it and the colour of it, and it was good. I would recommend it if you want to go blasting with mechs or Wanzers, then I would recommend smashing through that. Next one I played is a repro game, and this is like a bucket list game that I've always wanted to play, and it's Panzer Dragoon Saga. So I got this from, who was it who told me about this? It was James at Games on Birdroom, and I think Dylan as well mentioned it, Hyper Trigger X. Resurrection Games, so they do really, I mean, this is a quality repro, you know, it's got everything, it's got like really good artwork, really good casing, it's even got a wee spine card, I can't remember the name, what the Japanese is for that. Champion 2D Rob always says it, like spine couture or something, I can't remember. But yeah, it's got that, it's got the disc and everything. But anyway, I really did enjoy this game. I really liked the battle system. That was really cool. It was different, you know, you're constantly flying through the air with your big dragon, and you've got enemies coming from left and right, forward and back, so you have to kind of like go around the battlefield in a kind of 360 kind of plane and fight, and you find different weak spots and everything. So it's quite tactical as well, some strategy needed for some of the bosses. To say that it's a big RPG is quite false in a sense, because there's not much of a world map really. It's just really like you're on one continent with maybe 10 different places to go. It is really good. I'm not saying it's not good, because it is, but I would rather pay the £10 for this than I would never ever in a million years pay £300, £400, £500, whatever it's going for these days. It's not worth that. No game's worth that in my opinion, but I did enjoy it. It's one I would recommend if you wanted to get a repro copy of it. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it, and I'm glad I played it. I'm glad it's off that bucket list now. Next one we've got, so Eddie played this one again this year as well. And again, Jordy Slasher, he recommended it, and I absolutely loved this. I absolutely adored it, and it's Singularity on the PS3. The thing that I really enjoyed about this is I went into it not expecting too much. I went into it just thinking maybe it would just be, because I've heard it's quite a hidden gem, so I thought, oh, it must have some weight to it. But once you get really kind of into it, it's really cool, and the shooting's really good, and then the time manipulation and everything, and the whole island. The island is the kind of star for me. I really enjoyed the island and the backstory of what they were doing on the island in terms of the experimentations and everything that was going on. And again, as you go through the story and towards the end, it all kind of flips around and things, and it's just really cool. I can't go into that bit without spoiling what happens at the end and stuff like that, but it's really, really good. I recommend it. I know hundreds of people have said it's a hidden gem, but it's really worth your time. It's not too long either. It's a really solid shooter with really good level design, a really good world building, and yeah, definitely recommend that. Next one was a light gun shooter, a light gun game for the PS2. It's Resident Evil Dead Aim. It's quite bare bones, to be honest. There's not much to it. It's just like you just go through the game, and that's kind of it. There's no like side missions or anything like that. It's just like a very linear kind of game. You start off on a big cruise liner, and some of the documents lying around, it kind of ties into Resident Evil 2, I think it is. But apart from that, there's not, there isn't recurring characters or anything. It's all brand new kind of characters. I did enjoy it. I just thought it was a bit bare bones. There wasn't much to it, but yeah, I've not played a light gun game in ages, and I thought I would go through one that had a bit of a storyline, so it was alright. I didn't mind it. It was okay. Next one was a swap shop purchase many moons ago, probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, and it's from Lee near the Geezer. He sent me this a long time ago, It's a roll cage, so I finally got around to finishing it, but I only finished it on the default setting. There's a hard setting, and believe me, it is absolutely solid. It's tough, tough, tough. I really did enjoy it. I loved it. I've always loved the idea of roll cage. Back in the day, I only played the demo of it, but now I've got the full game. I've managed to play through the whole career on the default setting, and I really enjoyed it. And then I tried to go through it on the hard, and it was just too hard for me. It was just too tough. You know, the AI is so unforgiving, and it sounds like I'm moaning, but honestly, if a competitor touches your car, you're spinning, and that's you kind of out the race. The slightest touch just knocks you off track. But what I did play going through the whole default career was really, really cool. Brilliant music, great graphics for the time as well, and they still kind of hold up. It's really bright and fast, and then you get to kind of go up the walls and on the ceiling and everything, and it's just really cool. And I know there is a spiritual successor for the PS4 grip, so I'm going to try and grab a copy of that at some point as well. Next one, a game that I'm pretty sure everyone has played this year. It's better, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people have played this. I know Eddie got the platinum on it. I don't know if Jordy Slasher and Bohaha did, I'm not too sure. I don't think Bohaha has played this, I don't know. But Horizon Forbidden West, so many people have played this and so many people love it. Who else was it? Bill loved this game as well. It's just so good. This is PlayStation at its best for me. This is the complete world building, the characters, the whole kind of character arcs and everything, and how the characters evolve. It's absolutely stunning. I love the beastie creations. I love all the different beasties. I love all the cauldrons. The cauldrons are all the kind of puzzle bits where you have to go in and unlock the ability to hack all the different machines. I absolutely loved it. I've done Horizon Zero Dawn before and I platinumed that one. I did the Frozen Wilds, and then this is just seamlessly all go together. Absolutely loved it. There's not much more I can say about this that a lot of people haven't said already. It's just absolutely brilliant. The next one I played was a little bit meh. I think I mentioned that to Ross Bahaha. I said it was meh, and he said that's the best description for the game, and that is Lost for the 360. I absolutely loved Lost when it was back out in the day. I even enjoyed the later kind of seasons. Sorry, I think right at the end of it, it kind of went a bit daft. But I really did enjoy it. I loved. I'm talking about the series now, but I even liked how the island moved and stuff like that, and then back in time. It was just so cool. It was just so different as well at the time. This was okay. I didn't mind it too much. It was more of a kind of point and click kind of game almost. Like, it's not point and click, but it's kind of, there's not much action or anything like that. It's just kind of going through the main guy's story and finding out, because he loses his memory, and then you find out how he got there, what happened to his missus, and what happened before the flight and everything. It's okay. Like, I wouldn't run out and play it, but it was an okay kind of experience, especially if you like the TV shows. Not a brilliant game by any means, but it's not terrible. The next one here was, so this is us just about to move on to the PlayStation month. I played this and finished this just at the arse end of the month before, and it was a Wipeout. So I've got Wipeout 2048 here on the PS Vita, but it was Wipeout Omega Collection. So I finished all of the campaigns on the Omega Collection. So you've got Wipeout 2048, you've got Wipeout HD, and you've got Wipeout Fury. So I finished all those three campaigns on all on all the different series and everything, and it was brilliant. And this is a game that I always play and only play on in VR. I love it in VR. I don't like it so much in the cockpit because it's just a bit mad, like it's a bit too much. But in VR and outside view, and you see your ship, and you're looking around, and you can see the stadium, you can see the clouds. And, oh, it's just such a wonderful VR experience. And to be honest, I've been playing that Wipeout game for years and years and years. But this kind of year, I managed to finish off tick off all the boxes and everything. So I do enjoy a Wipeout game, and I will go back to it again and again and again, because there is still some things that I still need to unlock. And to unlock a lot of the stuff, there's a lot of skins and things like that, and it's just a lot of time you have to put into it to unlock all that. So that's why I like going back to it now and again, because I don't want to just dedicate my life to it kind of thing. Like, I like to go back to it every now and again and put a couple of hours into it, or a couple of days or whatever, and unlock a skin, and then go back to it like a couple of months later. It's brilliant. Absolutely love Wipeout. Now the next one was another swap shop purchase from Champion 2D Rob, and I had this game again many moons ago, so now I just got it back into the collection quite recently, and it's Star Wars Dark Forces. Excellent game. This is back when Doom clones were Doom clones, you know, like it was just so cool. The sound effects and the weapons and everything was just so, it was so Star Wars. And I'm trying to think of the main guy, I think his name is Kalan. And I don't know much about Star Wars, like I don't know a lot of that kind of lore, but apparently he is a thing in the Star Wars lore canon, that's the word. He is a person in the canon, and I think he's been in a couple of the games before or after this one. But it's really cool, you know, there's a few noticeable people in it. You get Boba Fett, you get Big Jabba the Hutt, so there is a few cool little nods and nods to the movies and stuff. Sorry, can't speak now. But really cool, a really solid Doom clone, and even the graphics are it's a 3D game you play, but all the characters are like 2D sprites, so like you can't, when there's a dead body, you can't like look around the body, because when you turn, the whole thing shifts around as well. So it's quite old and archaic in that way, but I still really enjoyed it, like the sound effects and everything, and the music, it's just absolutely cool. So really enjoyed Dark Forces, and really chuffed to have that back in the collection. Now the next one I don't have physically, because it doesn't have a physical release, but I had to get it when it came out because it was one of the best VR games I've played, which was Moss. So I had to get Moss Book 2, and Moss Book 2 is absolutely outstanding. What a game it is, it's so good. It takes everything that was good about Lost and it just adds so much to it. There's different areas to go to, there's even different weapons, and it's just so good. Different weapons, there's different characters now to interact with, and Quill herself, the wee mouse, she talks as well in it now. I don't think she talked in the first one, can't remember, but it's so cool, so good. And graphically, like I said about through the rabbit hole, you're playing and you're controlling Quill through this diorama of a world, and it's stunning and flawless, and that's what VR needs to be for me. There's a lot of VR stuff that are ports, or they're just kind of tagged on to games just to sell it as a VR experience. But Moss and Through the Rabbit Hole are like games that are made for VR. These are the games that are worth buying VR for, if that makes sense. Like Astrobot as well. Yeah, they're just so good, and I hope with the VR 2 coming out, they're going to put a lot more time into it, and they're really going to go for it this time, I think, because the PSVR is quite weak compared to other. Is it Oculus Quest? I think that's the best one out at the moment. But I still love my PSVR and I play it time and time again. I don't play it all the time, but I do. I play it quite a lot, In fact, one of my favourite experiences on VR would be Tetris Effect, which is quite silly because it's a ancient game, but it's just so good in VR with the kind of 3D surround sound, and then it's just silly, but I really love it. Anyway, sorry, back to the 26 game challenge. After Moss, I played Rise of the Tomb Raider. Brilliant game, absolutely brilliant. I remember playing the first one many moons ago, and then this has been sitting in my collection for a while, and I don't know why I've never got around to it, but I'm so glad that I got back to it. But again, like I said, I just go through the kind of story, and I play it for the story and the linearity of it. There's so much still to do, there's so much weapons to upgrade, costumes to get, things like that, areas to go, hidden tombs and things like that. Like, it's a vast game. But what I played of it, just going through the story, was stunning, absolutely brilliant. I will play Shadow of the Tomb Raider at some point, but I'm a little bit Tomb Raider out at the moment, so I'll give it a wee while before I go to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. But Shadow of the Tomb Raider, to Rise of the Tomb Raider, sorry, brilliant game. Next one was, so still on PlayStation 1, a game that I've meant to play for years and years, and I never got round to it. I kept on putting it off, and it's good. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's kind of weird, kind of like Lost as well in a way, the way that the game plays. Shadows of Memory for PS2. It's a good game, but it's a little bit taxing. There's a lot of, I don't know, it didn't really click with me, to be honest with you. I played through one playthrough, and I did enjoy it. I'm not saying it's a bad game, because it is a good game. I played it through to D ending, and I think there's maybe 5 endings altogether. I did like the graphics, I did like the story and everything, but there was just something about it that didn't really hook me. I think it's because there is no action, there is no urgency to the game almost. That's why it just kind of felt like it kind of passed me by. It's still good, but yeah, I didn't put too much time into it. I didn't give it the time that it deserved, I don't think. But I did play it through to a D ending, and at the end, you know, it's got a good kind of story. It's a good construction to the story. Like the way it kind of ends as well is good. Well, with the D ending anyway. I've not played to the other endings, but yeah, Shadows of Memories. Next one was PSP game for the PlayStation 1, and it's SpiderMan Web of Shadows. Really fun 2.5D platformer, brawler kind of thing. It's really cool. There's so many. I like all the nods and all the amazing allies edition. So you get a lot of allied help and stuff. So I unlocked quite a few of them. I didn't unlock them all. I was still missing Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man. Wolverine. So you see Wolverine here on the front, but I never got him. So I need to go back and try and unlock all the allies. But it is pretty cool, you know, there's a symbiote invasion on Earth, and you get to choose between being good or being bad. I think I finished with the bad ending. I think I finished by enslaving Manhattan. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a really nice pace. I don't know if it's just my copy, but the load times were excruciatingly long. I don't know if it's just my copy was shite, but the load times were mental. But there's loads and loads of different allies to get. You get Moon Knight, who's quite relevant these days. You get Moon Knight, you start off with him, and you've got Nightcrawler, Storm, Shocker, Mysterio, Hobgoblin. There's so many different characters to unlock and use. And I know that these games are going for a wee bit of money now, but I think it's only the PS3 versions of the Spider-Man games that are going for a wee bit. I think it's due to licensing activity. I don't know why, but I did enjoy this. It's really cool. The only kind of down thing about it would be, I think the levels were a bit bland, to be honest. Like, there wasn't much happening in the levels, like the backgrounds and things. I like when the backgrounds are kind of busy and stuff's happening. These were quite static and not much happening in the background. But yeah, the fighting and everything, and the different allies you can summon was pretty cool. Next one was a recommendation from Marcus at Dad and Lads last year. He recommended these games to me. I played the first one last year and I played the second one this year, just recently, and it's Dishonored II. So I played Corvo's storyline. I don't know if, in fact it must, there's a Emily playthrough as well. It must be different. Or maybe it's the same story but you can do different choices and things. I'm not sure, but I did do the Corvo storyline, and Corvo's a really cool character from the first one and everything. Like, it's just so cool. I think it was Eddie that mentioned it was a bit, he said it looks cool but it could be a bit too stealthy for him, and it's a very stealthy game. I think you can tackle it any way you want. That's the kind of beauty of this in the first one. You can do whatever, you can go through each level any way you want. The levels again are one of the biggest plus points because they're so well constructed. So well constructed in that you can go through the front door, or you can possess a rat and go through the sewers, or you can go in through a window, or you can go in through the roof. Like, there's just so many different ways to go about your business, so many ways to go about the end goal kind of thing. So that's really cool. I think there was a mission that just kind of stifled me a little bit. I think it was, you had to bring one of the two kind of heads of two different factions and bring them together, but I killed them both because that's what I do. I killed them both, and then it said to find another way, and then I had to go and find another way of doing the mission, and it just kind of like dragged on a little bit. But once I got by that mission, it just all kind of seamlessly kind of unfolded and everything. Really cool missions in it would be Jin Doshi's manor. That's a really cool one. He's like a clockwork kind of scientist, so he's created these clockwork soldiers and stuff. But the really cool thing is that his mansion is like a big clockwork structure itself, so like it moves around when you're in the level, and like bedrooms come out the wall and things. It's just really cool, weird, but it's just really cool. And then another one would be the Duke's level, because you get like a time manipulation device as well. So it's really cool because the Duke is kind of like a broken down shadow of his former self. So you have to go back in time to see how he got to that point, and you see a lot of the kind of cutscene. They're not cutscenes, they're kind of like, well, they're kind of cutscenes, but you're kind of still controlling during the cutscene. So it's really cool, really deep, great character, brilliant characters, absolutely brilliant. And the main boss, Delilah, I'm sure, so she was in the DLC from the first game, the Brigmore Witches, so she was in that. It's just really cool. I can't really recommend Dishonored games enough. For people that do like stealth games, this is definitely up there. Then the last game that I just finished today was a gift from the Gerfmeister himself, Goldtooth Gaming. So I sent him something a while ago, and he was adamant he had to get me something back, and I never thought I'd get something like this. It was Intrepid Izzy for the Dreamcast. What a gift this is, what an amazing gift. I mean, I've only got like 4 Dreamcast games, so to finally boot up my Dreamcast again and play it, hold that controller, it was just really, really nice to play the Dreamcast again, so thank you for making me play the Dreamcast again. But yeah, it's a wee 2D kind of almost Metrovania kind of game. Really, really nice, really smooth, the artwork's really cool, the music's brilliant, and I really enjoyed it. There's a wee bit of depth to it as well, because there's some golds, almost like trophies to go back for, and I think when I finished it, I think there's only maybe 5 or 6 goals I still need to accomplish. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, really cool. It's only maybe 4 hours long or something, so I played it over the last 2 or 3 days, and loved it. So thank you very much, Goldtooth, for making me play the Dreamcast again, and for getting me halfway through this bloody challenge. So cheers. That is 26 games so far, so that's the halfway mark. Sorry, I forgot to mention this game as well. So this is another game that I just missed out there, and it's No Straight Roads. This is a fantastic game. Absolutely loved it. You take part as either Zook or Mayday, and you're a two-piece band, Bunk Bed Junction, that's it. And you've got to kind of relieve the city of the EDM, electronic dance music, because nobody in the city listens to rock and roll anymore, or just good music. They just listen to EDM, and it's just really cool and funny. The graphic style is right up my street. It's cel shaded. It's absolutely brilliant. The music's top notch as well. It's just a class game. The bosses are really inventive as well. You've got to kind of beat them. You've got to kind of beat them up when you're playing music and stuff. It's kind of weird, but it's really cool. And the Vinyl City itself is a really cool kind of world to kind of run around in. Loads of little collectibles and things like that. It's just really cool. Definitely recommend playing this. I know that Eddie started playing it and then he kind of fell off it, but I would definitely recommend to go back on it and get it finished. It's not too long either, and it's just really cool. The graphics, like I said, are just fantastic, and everything, it just holds itself all together with the graphics and the music and the story and the characters, and brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, so if I can do another 26 in the next 5 months, then I've done the 52 game challenge. So we'll see how far I get. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to me drivel on about all these games. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.